Welcome to the video demo for the template reporting tool I created for using with functional movement screen when you're in a team environment. When you get the file, download it to your computer and you can save it anywhere, or if you want, save it on your desktop as I've done here. If you've just got it saved, you're going to open up Excel and then open the file from the open menu. If you have it on the desktop, then you can just double click on it like this and it will open right up. What you will notice is you'll initially have the top that says macros have been disabled. This is a Microsoft security feature to prevent unwanted macros. The macros in this file are wanted macros, so you want to enable the content and select OK. Now we're just going to skip through the introduction and features, but do feel free to take a look, and we're going to go right to the customizations page. So if you have a clinic or if you're a team and you have a website, you want people to see that in the final, then you can enter the information here. So in my case, it's customstrength.com. As it says right here, don't add the www. And then you can put in your own logo. So I've got a logo saved in this big, long file name. So you want to go and capture that file name, enter it here. If you want to set a path for where the client files will be saved or the team file will be saved, enter it here. I'm going to leave it blank, which means it will save this file or the default file location will be where this particular tool is saved. You'll get a chance for a save as. If I want my phone number to appear in the footer, I will enter it right here, although I think actually I'm going to leave this blank for the moment. File type, so if you're using Excel 2007, it'll be .xlsx, as I've got here. If it's 2003, .xls. And then down here, if you've got multiple practitioners or multiple strength coaches or ATCs working together, then you can enter several of them here. And what this allows you to do is quickly select who's done the assessment and then have their name on the bottom. So for me, I'm Elsbeth. I'm a strength and conditioning specialist, so I put my CSCS there. Say I've got someone named Ron working for me who's a ATC. I'm going to put that, I think I've got that right. And we'll just call that actually ATC at, that's actually a fake address. And then that's it for the customization. So now we go back to the team result. This has an old value, so I'm going to reset it. It gives me an opportunity to say no to the erasing in case you hit that button by mistake. You do get a second chance. And now you'll see there's a bunch of cells that are green. So basically, the simple rule is if it's green, fill it in. And once you've filled it in, it won't be green anymore. So we're going to go with Mary Thompson as our first athlete. And it is going to be on the ski team. Now, this doesn't have to be, you can name ski team any way you want. And now I'm going to pick, so I was doing the assessment. And then now we go and see the green. So squat. I'm going to say that a 2. If I want to enter a note, I can. So I'm going to say that the torso flops forward. This is something that I usually put in for myself. The notes don't affect the score, but sometimes there's interesting things that you see. Hurdle step, I'm going to say is a 3-2. With the hip hike is the reason for the 2. Lunge, symmetrical 3. Shoulder mobility we'll say is a 3-2, and usually I'd like to put in the hand size here. So hand is 6 inches, left was 7, and right was 5. There's the clearing tester in here too, so impingement, there's no pain with that, so I'm going to say pass. Now you notice as soon as I put in the 2 and the 3, the actual resulting score comes up automatically, and as is the rule for the functional movement screen, you take the lowest of the 2, so it becomes a 2. Straight leg raise, symmetrical 3s, and the 3 comes up. Push up was a 2, but in this case, she had pain in her lumbar region during the extension clearing test, and now you see as soon as I hit fail, that becomes automatically a 0. So the rules are embedded right in. The nice thing with this is that it allows me to, when I do the functional movement screen, I don't do there's no paper involved. I enter my client's results right away into this, and then it's all saved up. So now before I go and move on, I'm going to pick the tests that I feel need to be addressed. And in this case, it's pretty easy because I just have 2 asymmetries. So I'm going to look at the hurdle step, and then I'm going to look at the where is that other, the shoulder mobility. And so as you can see, the two that I've picked get highlighted. And now I'm going to click Create New Team File. So it's telling me that the team already exists. Do I want to replace it? I'm actually going to say yes. If you don't, what you'd want to do is at that point open that file, and then the next time it asks you, you'll be able to add it as just by doing Save Athlete Result. So to give you an example of that, actually, so now it's done, and here's the new file it's created, and you'll see there's the team summary. Not very much information yet, so we'll get back to that. Now, if I want to reset this form to add another athlete. Now, you can add another athlete without resetting the form, but in order to do that, you just want to make sure that you're very careful that you do input all the information from the new athlete instead of keeping some from the old athlete. So I'm going to enter, I've got a file in here, OOST, which is the Auto Osteopathy and Sports Therapy. So I'm going to add it to that file. And I'm just going to run through these tests pretty quickly, give her a fairly balanced score. So 2s across and no pain. And then since all is equal, I'm going to go with the 2 basic scoring. So these ones are a drop-down list, but if you know what you want to enter in, you can just enter it. So I know it's SM and ASLR that I want. And now I'm going to say Save Athlete Result. Now, so it tells me right there, the file name you specified is not open. So either open the file or create it before running this macro again. So what that means is that if it's actually a new file, then I'd go back and say Create Team File, New Team File. But it's an existing file that I want to add this athlete to. So I'm going to go and I'm going to open it. And it's a fairly large file, so it just takes a few seconds here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my reporting tool, and this time when I hit Save Athlete Result, it adds it to that file. Each time you save, it's probably in the 10-second range. So now you see this is a file. There's a whole lot of tabs in here, somewhere in the range of 65 or so. And now we're going to look at the team summary. And we see that it tells me the team average. So that's the average of all the people whose results are in there. Athletes below 14. And then it gives me information on worst tests. So what I'm seeing here from this, based on this group of people, I think I have an issue in terms, I want to address more work towards active straight leg raise and trunk stability push-up corrective exercises, because I see that that's where the big problems are. And now all over here to the right, we can see it's a breakdown of all of the scores. So how many asymmetries we have for various tests. And it can really tell us, so we might look at this and say, okay, we've got a little bit too much asymmetry on the rotational stability. And more regularly, we're saying weakness on the left relative to the right. So that might be something that we want to delve into more deeply. If you do, the information is here. If you don't, then it's really this column information that you want to use to help you address. Maybe you want to change up your team warm-up. Maybe you want to change your conditioning program, or just maybe you want to look at the environment that they're working in. So this is actually easy to print out as well. I'll go to the print preview. And it's just set up. If I had notes there, I can have some notes written. For each one of these athletes, I can go and say, okay, print the individual pages. And the printing is set up nicely, so I don't have to do any playing around with formatting. It's just everything fits nicely on one page. The other option is that I can go and do a save as PDF, give it a name, and then that gives a nice option for sending this to maybe the other coaches involved, as well as to the athlete or to the actual sporting organization that they are a part of. So I'll go back to the reporting tool, and I'll just give you an example of what can happen if I want to not bother redoing the whole thing. So I've got the ski team file open. So this time I'll say that Jill is on the ski team, and then maybe I'll say it's actually a different athlete. So Mary Walters, and so they had some change a few of the tests here, and then so now looking at this result, I'm just going to delete this and this so I can take a quick view. And as soon as I clear those selected tests, the highlighting is gone, and now I can look at it clearly, and I see I have 2 asymmetries. So again, that's a nice easy decision. So I'm going to pick the hurdle step and shoulder mobility. Okay, so now I go up here and I'll say save athlete result, and it gets saved to the ski team, which is the one that I had just created. And now we can look over there and see we've got the logo there. Now 14.5 is the average. And again, all this information. If I wanted to, I could save all 3 of those or print them all together by selecting all those tabs together. Do a print preview, and now I've got those 3 pages ready to print. So basically what you're seeing is by using this tool, you could screen, a full team, 20, 10, 50 athletes, and within about 1 minute of finishing all of your tests, you have complete summary information of all the results available in a nicely printable, sendable format, and one that you can actually make some decisions about. If you have further questions, if this is something of interest, please get in touch with me at coach@customstrength.com. Or if you're just interested in purchasing the product, you can find it on my website, www.customstrength.com, under the Trainer Tools page. Thank you and have a great day.